This is deep. And I've been saying since 2019, there is a profound infiltration within the Catholic Church. I am a faithful son of the Catholic Church. I try to be. I try to live by the Church's teachings, scripture, tradition, faith, morality. I'm not here to trash the Church. The Church is our mother. The Church is the bride of Christ. But there are wicked wolves in sheep's clothing who are using our beloved Catholic Church for sex, sodomy, money laundering, embezzlement, and I think just power trips. We could throw in there pedophilia, Cardinal McCarrick, all of these horrible things that wolves are doing inside the church. The church herself is not wicked. The church herself is not bad. The church is one, holy, Catholic, and apostolic. That's the church. The problem is you've got evil men inside the church trying to corrupt her, trying to send souls to hell. Now, I've documented, if you're wondering, what is the Vatican Bank? Why does the Vatican have its own bank? Why is it always in a scandal every 5 to 10 years? I'd encourage you to read the chapter on the Vatican Bank and the history of the Vatican Bank in my best-selling book, Infiltration. If you haven't read it yet, please read it. It's on sale right now at Amazon.com and has over 4,000 reviews. It is it's an important book. It's an important book, and I would really encourage, if you want to know quickly the history of the Vatican Bank and why it is plagued by scandals, read that chapter in Infiltration. If you'd like a signed copy of Infiltration, I would encourage you to go to patreon.com/Dr. Taylor Marshall. There's specials there where you can get that book, my latest book, others signed. I'll send you a rosary to thank you for your support, but check back over there. Now, wrecked their offices. They took away their personal phone, their personal iPad, etc. Now, the interesting part here is the role of Pope Francis, and that's probably why you're watching right now. You want to know, what role does Pope Francis have in all of this? All right, well, Pope Francis created the Vatican's first ever Office of Auditor General in 2015. This was lauded by all the Francis fans. Oh, Pope Francis is finally going to clean up. He's going to clean up shop. He's serious about getting rid of corruption. Francis is a good guy. Well, they bring in auditors, and as soon as they get to work, they're fired. They're raided, they're kicked out, and they're accused of espionage and embezzlement as soon as they begin their job. They were hired in 2015. Their offices were raided in June of 2017 for espionage and embezzlement. Or has problems with the Pope, trying to talk with him. You know, we're Catholics. We're Christians. We're supposed to go to one another. You know, you see Cardinal Zen with all the nonsense going on with the Patriotic State Church in China. He's trying to talk to Pope Francis, to warn him, to discuss it, to dialogue. Pope Francis won't even meet with him. The Dubia cardinals want to meet with him. What are you saying here in Amoris Laetitia? This sounds heretical. This sounds contrary to previous papal teaching, contrary to the Council of Trent on holy matrimony and confession. Can we meet with you and get a clarification? Doors closed. Francis won't meet with him. Francis put the papal secret over the story of his resignation. Something is not right. Something is rotten in the state of the Vatican. Elected with the St. Gallen Mafia and with conspiracy to bring forward an agenda that would undermine traditional marriage between a man and a woman, that would pave the way for the blessing of same-sex unions, which you're seeing This year, with the Synod of Synodality, which is a joke. It's asking people to tell you what they think the Catholic Church should be. How ridiculous is that? In the legacy of Cardinal Martini was women's ordination of the diaconate, blessings for same-sex partnerships, whatever that is, mitigation of respect for the traditional family, softening on the church's teaching on abortion, softening or reversal on the teaching on contraception, all the controversial stuff. That's what Pope Francis was elected to do, and guess what he's done? Those things. Promote globalism, promote communism, promote the communist version of Catholicism in China. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church in Europe crumbles apart. They're closing down seminaries, merging parishes. People aren't going because the successors of the apostles aren't teaching the doctrine and the gospel, the good news of the apostles. Big problem. And I'd like to encourage you. I know we talk a lot about Pope Francis and wicked cardinals and wicked bishops and scandals in the church and all that. I want to encourage you by noting that it is not the Catholic Church that is corrupt. The Catholic Church is the mother of the faithful. If you read the book of Revelation, if you read my new book, Antichrist and Apocalypse, you'll get to the last 2 chapters and you'll realize that the church is the bride of Christ. She's without wrinkle, she's without spot, she is pure, she is holy, she is lovely, she is beautiful. That is the true church. That's the church that we profess in the creed. One, holy, Catholic, and apostolic. The church is holy. The true church is holy. So if you want to be encouraged, I would actually encourage you to read Infiltration. Yes, the first 90% of it is a just punch in the gut when you realize how corrupt things have become. Not only at the Vatican Bank, but in the liturgy, in the dioceses, in the seminaries, in theology, in morality, in the demographics. You're just going to be punched in the gut over and over and over. But if you read to the end of Infiltration, you'll see the hope. You'll see the way forward. And I make an analogy there to Ezra and Nehemiah in the Old Testament. When they come back after Jerusalem has been destroyed and the temple is destroyed and there is no priesthood and there is no liturgy, everything is just jacked up. They come back and they begin to rebuild the structure, the city of what it is meant to be. The priesthood, everything. And they have swords on their hips and shovels in their hands, and they're rebuilding the walls and rebuilding the cities with their weapons. And that's what we need to do. We need to rebuild, and we need to be weaponized. And the weapon is the Holy Rosary. Pray the Rosary every day, or you're not on the team. Simple. I'm so tired of people complaining, oh, you don't have to pray the Rosary every day. Yes, you do. You have to pray the Rosary every day. The Blessed Virgin Mary got off her throne, came down to earth in 1917 to Portugal to 3 children, and she told us to pray in Portuguese. She said, pray a third every day. There's 15 mysteries of the Rosary. That means you pray 5, at least 5 mysteries every day. And then there's Pope after Pope. You've heard me read them. I've got the book Rosary in 50 pages. I've encouraged you to get it. You can, of course, get a signed copy at patreon.com. In the book, I give you all these quotes from the popes saying, pray the Rosary every day. It's not me. It's the popes. It's the Blessed Mother. Do it. Pray the Rosary every day. I don't want to hear any more excuses. No. You got to pray the Rosary every day. You got to read the Bible every day. I'm reading the Bible every day. Every day on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and social media and televisions all over the place telling me garbage. I want the truth. Straight up truth is from the Bible. Read the Bible every day. And of course, you got to pray that Rosary. Did I say that already? Pray the Rosary? Yes, I did.